You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
Oh, hey there, friends. Listen, thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate you. Today is a really great episode. Like most episodes, I talk about health, wellness, social interaction, and whether it's me ranting by myself, trying to give you some advice, or telling you some personal experiences that might help. Most episodes are interviewing experts in different fields. Today, I actually have a buddy of mine that I've become good friends with. His name's Clifton Miller. He is 21 years old, but he does not talk like he's in his 20s. We hit it off at my previous job where he worked for me for a while, and now he's up in Tallahassee, kicking ass and taking names, going to school. He's going to FAMU, so not only is he working on his education and his mental health, but he's also really big into fitness. He works at a health club now, and he wants to get in on the ground floor and then eventually, build up his personal brand to, hopefully grow it to the point to where he says him and his friends want to open up their own health club, which I am all about. I think that's great because if you can work for yourself, fantastic. But if you could do something that you love, even better. And then if you could do something that you love, plus it's good for you and it's good for your community, like a health and wellness studio or a fitness gym, that's even better too. So I'm personally not a big person that's into pre-workout or pre-workout drinks or anything like that, but I think it's important throughout the day, in particular, whether you're training or not. If you just want to focus on your overall physical health, supplementation is very important. And I say that because, if you do your own research, you don't have to listen to me. I'm no nutritionist, but if you do your own research, you could understand that the food we eat now does not have the vitamins and minerals that it did 50 years ago, 100 years ago, because we have to mass produce a lot of the foods that we eat, like your meats and even plants. We have to mass produce this stuff because there's 7 billion people on this earth. We have to feed everybody, right? And even still, there's places in the world that people don't get food. So really, it's us fat-ass Americans that are taking a lot of the heat. With that said, though, because you're not getting your proper vitamins and minerals in your foods, supplementation is important. And you don't necessarily have to take pre-workouts or anything like that, but even just your vitamin C, collagen, which is great for skin, hair, growth, good healthy fats, not McDonald's. You want to have good fats, but you don't want to have those unhealthy ones. Well, Perfect Keto has all those nutrients that you need. Not only do they have the vitamins that you need, but they have some really great foods and snacks that are keto friendly. Some of them are even vegan and gluten free, but they're great snacks that will crave your sweet tooth. Me personally, I use a couple of their products. My favorite one, I think, so far is probably the collagen that they have. I like the vanilla, but the wife, I think, is a bigger fan of the salted caramel. We use that in our coffee, so we'll do a scoop like in our coffee instead of creamer. So if you use creamer in your coffee, whether it's almond milk or regular milk or heavy cream, like if you look at the back of the ingredients, there is nothing beneficial in those. So this collagen, you can actually take a scoop, put in your coffee. It's just like a creamer. You mix it in there, and it's going to actually have, things that your body needs, which is important. So you can really start your day off right. But they also have super greens, which are great. There's up to 26 fruits and veggies in each scoop. I love those as well. Again, they have just tons of stuff as well as snacks. Take a look at perfectketo.com. I'll leave the link in the description below, but use the code THEBERARDO. You'll get 20% off your entire order. Again, that's perfectketo.com. So without further ado, I wanted to get into today's episode. Everyone, please help me welcome Clifton Miller. Cool. Well, dude, what's up, man? How you been, Clifton?
I've been good, in Tallahassee.
Yeah, man. Go Knowles.
Yeah, so.
Just kidding.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you're at what? FAMU? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Fam, huh?
FAMU.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
How's that going?
It's going good, I love the experience, being around different crowds, all my college career, actually, so
Yeah.
It's good to be here again, so.
That's awesome. Are you working up there or just going to school?
Yeah, I'm working right now. I'm currently working at Crunch.
Oh yeah. Okay, we got those down here.
So yeah, so
Nice, dude. No, I'm glad you found something in the fitness realm. So
Yes,
that's kind of what I want to, I wanted you to be on the show just because, I noticed you're starting to ramp up your social media a little bit, and I know, when you were down here, we were talking about fitness all the time. So, no, I'm glad you're in that realm again. Are you training or are you sales?
right now I'm just front desk. So yeah, I'm a part of the sales team.
Yeah. So you're starting from the bottom. That's all good.
Yes, sir.
That's what you got to do, man. Get that experience, and then you got the focus face to face. That's easy.
Yes, sir.
So like
Yes, sir.
so when I was one of my first gigs, matter of fact, when I was what was I 18, I think, I started off in sales at LA Fitness. So that was back in 2004, I think. And I was there for a long time, and then I ended up getting my certification and became a trainer. So, but it's good to, that you're on the front desk or the sales side. It's good to be on that side of the fence because you get to meet the members, you get to build relationships, you get that face-to-face interaction. And then, is your plan to eventually maybe go into training, or are you going to go do something else? Like, what's your goal?
I look forward to getting to training. Like right
Nice.
now, I'm just going step by step. Like I love being in the front because I get to learn the ins and outs, and like you said, I get to build relationships with people. So
Yeah, that's good, man. And then how's Tally? You like it up there?
yeah, I like it. It's different, coming from the city. So it's
Yeah.
nice. You just got to get used to it. That's all. It's all about adapting.
That's it. Yeah, it's a lot different for sure. Definitely a college city. I got a lot of buddies that graduated at FSU and FAM and shit, and they said it's a little wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you look left, you look right, it's somebody your age.
yeah, that's right.
That's how it is.
Yeah, as long as you keep your head down and you keep your shit clean, you'll be all right.
Yes, sir.
Well, good, man. So a couple things, right? So we're already recording, by the way. I just started recording.
Okay.
But have you been on a podcast before?
No, this is my first time actually.
Oh, cool, man. Well, welcome. Congrats. Now you
Appreciate it.
gotta keep going on multiple podcasts. That's the
Yes,
goal.
sir. This is my introduction.
Yeah, man. This is the intro. And
Yes.
for my podcast, typically what I do is, I don't know if you've listened to any other episodes, but I've been doing this for probably 3 years or so. And I haven't been able to do it full time, obviously, right? Because I've always been working. But I mainly do health, wellness, and social interaction is what the podcast is about. So, and by that I mean I'll interview guests from all different fields, but I'll talk about mental health, I'll talk about fitness, nutrition, pretty much anything that lets us be better humans. Is how we talk about it. So, I know you're big into fitness, so I wanted to pick your brain a little bit on like what your routine's looking like, and really I want you to look at this as if someone's listening or watching this podcast that maybe they're your age, maybe they're just going to college, maybe they're trying to figure out how to maintain that lifestyle because it's it's a challenge, right? I mean, we talked about this when you were in Tampa, but it's hard to be friends with folks that don't have the same vision as you. And sometimes they
sir.
want to, right? Sometimes they want to party a little bit more. Sometimes they go down different paths that aren't necessarily the best for their health. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about that and your challenges. And, of course, we'll get into like some advice and, what people could do for fitness. That sound like a plan?
Okay. Well, for me, yeah. Just let me know when you're ready. I got you.
Let's do it, bro. What you got? Lay down some knowledge for me, Clifton. Come on, man.
Okay. For me, honestly, in Tampa, I feel like Tampa opened my eyes up because like I realized that your success depends on your environment. Like when you're in a winning environment, you'll win. So honestly, I just took what I learned in Tampa and brought it up with me to Tallahassee. And like if you like really tuned into my page, you can see I'm with two other guys, Tyree and Gio. They're actually into the same thing I'm into, which is fitness and just helping people and like making changes in the world. So really, we just right now we're currently just trying to build our personal brands and then eventually transition to other things. But like as far as just working out, training, I would just say start off with your body weight. Get comfortable with your body weight. Learn how to move correctly. It's not about lifting heavy. It's not about the big PR. It's about being comfortable while you're in the gym, being comfortable while making movement. That's all it's about. It's nothing too scientific. Like it's nothing crazy. It's just about being comfortable while working out. Because one mess up, you know what the result is.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta be in tune with your body.
That's great advice, man. Yeah, for sure. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand because I don't know where it started, but maybe it's because of social media, or maybe it's because, deep down we're all a little bit vain, and we like how we want to like how we look, and sometimes because of other people's opinions, it brings us down a little bit. So we feel like if we look the best or look like, Kim Kardashian or Ryan Gosling, or if we look the part, sometimes that's going to make us feel better. But really deep down, that's not what fitness is about. It's about overall mental health, physical health. And I always relate it back to the caveman days. Like those folks didn't have bench press and Smith machines, but they were doing mobility movements and lugging the clubs around and, crab walking and, bear crawling and doing all the movements that make them be more physically and physically mobile versus being stronger, because that's going to come. If you're, like you said, if you're mobile and you're stretching and you're doing what you can with your muscle fibers to get them where they need to be, the strength is going to come, right? You don't have to be great at Smith machines to be in good health, right?
Yeah.
You got to get good at that mobility.
You hit that on the head.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I've actually found, because I think last time I saw you, I don't know if I told you, but I had a tumor in my lung. And
Yeah, we spoke.
yeah, so, and that was, I think I still had it in when you were down here, and then I eventually, end of January, I ended up getting surgery, and I was in the hospital for a few weeks and recovering and all that shit. And I haven't really worked out. I mean, I'm starting to get back to it, but I think maybe when we spoke back in December, when you were down here, I think was the last time I actually physically could work out without it like hurting, right? Because when I had the tumor, it was like, like I was breathing heavy. And then when I got it removed, obviously I had to be careful and still got to be kind of careful. But now that the wounds are closed, I'm starting to realize that obviously my strength is gone. Like I lost like 15 pounds. It's going to happen. I got to build back up to it. But I found it more interesting that I'm getting back to like the basics of like what you're saying, mobility, stretching. I'm doing a lot of bear crawls, and I'm finding myself just after about a week or two of doing pull-up, push-ups, bear crawls, crab walks, dips, like body weight exercises. Because I haven't really done true body weight exercises in years, right? Because I've always been doing weights, and then now that I kind of have to start from scratch again, getting back to it, I'm realizing I'm like, wait a minute, like I don't have that pain in my elbow anymore, because I'm doing all my body weight exercises. So now like I'm slowly strengthening the muscles around my tendons and my bones to where I'm not lugging around kettlebells and dumbbells as much, because you don't realize how much that shit takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
Sometimes
like right now, well, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
like,
go ahead.
Right now, I work with one of my female coworkers, Tina. So recently, we just exposed her to just doing HIIT workouts because she's strong, but she never exposed herself to different types of lifts, different types of like exercise. We're trying to get her into plyometrics and stuff like that. So I honestly like agree with you all the way. Like when you start using just your body weight, you really feel the strength. Like it takes you a long way.
It is kind of weird too, because that's like always the opposite of what we hear typically, right? Because if you follow people, and I think again a lot of it has to do with social media. You follow these folks on social media, and they're You know, they're talking about being stronger humans and, you know, lugging around these 100-pound dumbbells. And I mean, it looks cool. It looks sexy. And some of these folks that do it, right, are jacked up. But little do you know, like, not for nothing, but more often than not, most of those folks that are all jacked up and shredded, they haven't been doing that because they're, you know, eating right and lifting weights. Like, they're putting some stuff in their ass more often than not. So, of course, you're going to be jacked, right? Like, I get it. But that's not what this whole thing's about, because that's not sustainable. Like, I always looked at plyometrics and HIIT training as that's more sustainable, because when I'm 70 years old, 80 years old, I'm not going to be doing 100-pound dumbbells. So, like, what's the purpose of doing it now? Is the purpose to get, like, as jacked as I can? Like, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pretend that he wasn't on steroids. Pretend, because he was. But pretend he wasn't. He got jacked for, I don't know, 80% of his life, and he was shredded. He was like the Mecca, right? Everyone wanted to be him. Men looked up to him. Other bodybuilders looked up to him. He was jacked and perfect and a gorgeous specimen. But now, he's 70, 80, I think, something like that. He's old. And he doesn't look as good. It's because you're blowing yourself up when you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s. You're eventually going to deflate. It's just the way the body works. It gets weaker, right? And you're a little bit younger than me, so who knows? Maybe by the time you're my age, I mean, I'm 36, but maybe when you're like 80, maybe they'll come up with some stem cell research that will let you be like looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger when you're 80. I don't know. But I mean, now it's like we work so hard to be these perfect specimens for like 20 years. But most of your life is a child or an elder. That's most of your life. You know, you're going to be 60 to 90. That's 30 years. And then you're going to be a teen, you know, born from the age 0 to like 20. So that's 50 years. So half your life, you're going to be either really, really young or really, really old. So you're only getting fit right now to satisfy that Instagram life where you want to look good on the gram. I mean, that's really what you're doing. But you don't think about long-term strategy, which is like, I want to be mobile and I want to be able to be flexible when I'm older. So that way my bones don't break, you know, when I get older.
Yeah.
People don't think about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. People really don't think about it. And that's why with my page right now, I'm starting to like introduce my followers to functional training, because back like in the past, I just trained athletes back home. That was just my foundation. That's what I was built around because I was an athlete. So now I'm just trying to expose the health community about functional training, and that it's no reason for them to be afraid because they're not athletes to participate. It's good for everyone.
That's right.
So
that's true.
That's what I'm doing right now.
And for people who don't know, I'll leave it, you know, when I do these videos and I edit it out. But what's for people just listening? What's your Instagram handle so they could follow you?
Miller Fitness. Instead of using the I's, you put the number 1. So MLLERF1TNESS.
Nice. Yeah, clever, bro, with the 1. I dig it.
Yeah. Chosen one. You're one of one, one of none. It's a lot of things.
I like it. I'm thinking from like a branding standpoint, like there's a lot of ideas that can come from that.
Oh, I know. I know you know.
Yeah, you learn.
I know you know.
You learn.
I know you know.
And what are you guys doing? Because you said a couple of your buddies are working on growing your personal brand. And are you guys doing that through training, or I know you were taking some photos and stuff. Are you still doing that as well?
So right now we're just in the process of just creating content. We just want to put out a lot of content, and then eventually we'll come up with a name for all 3 of us. But we're just focusing on our personal brand right now. And then, like you said, I have the camera, so eventually we'll start making a little bit more like better quality videos for our pages and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, dude, if you ever need help with any of that, you know, just shoot me a text or a call or something. But you know, I'm sure you guys got it. But I have noticed that I've started to get a little bit I don't want to say lazy, but I haven't really cared too much about the quality of the content anymore, because I'm starting to realize that, like TikTok, for example. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I recently just made one for my
Did you?
fitness page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's I mean TikTok's obviously great, but it's interesting that the videos that go like viral have like just their phone. Like they're not using like a Canon or a Sony with like the best lens
Yeah.
and filters and shit. It's just their phone. So it almost makes me think like, I don't know, should I really try so hard to do quality, absolutely gorgeous content on TikTok? Maybe for Instagram, but
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok is getting more, that's getting the crowd that wants authenticity versus like cinematography.
Yes. Because I feel like right now we're going in the direction of just people making like a way in this industry with just being themselves, like not really trying to be perfect. Because as you can see, if you try to be too perfect, you don't get anywhere. And there's no such thing as perfect. You can get close, like you can work hard, but there's no such thing as perfect. And that's why a lot of us like fail to like reach goals in the gym. Like you say, we're looking at others and we want to be perfect because we think they're perfect, but we don't know what they're actually going through.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's true what they say, right? Never judge a book by its cover. But I think sometimes we tell ourselves, well, we don't want to look at somebody and judge them right away, which is true. But you're also not thinking of the other side, which is if you look at somebody who you think is perfect, you're judging that book by its cover, right? But we don't think about that sometimes because inside that book, when you start to read it, it's a fucked up book, right? Like someone who's really like pretty and perfect on the inside. I mean, look at my man Kanye, right? He is going through some shit, but on the outside, you're like, bro, multimillionaire. He was cranking out, you know, the Kardashian. Like he popped out a couple kids with her. Like this guy's living high. And then just a couple years ago, then you're like, wait a minute, what? This guy has some problems. Like you got to kind of, you know, internally, he looks like he's got everything in the world. He's got a shoe brand, he's got this, but internally, he's dealing with some serious issues, and you gotta be empathetic towards that because I think everybody has that going on. You know, whether it's obviously not that extreme, but like you said, no one is perfect, but we really, and it's so hard, right? Because it's hard to not compare ourselves to social media. Because I was thinking about this the other day, because we spend so much time on social media and looking at celebrities and looking at, and like when I was a kid, when Facebook first came out, you know, I think I was in college when it happened, like in 01, I think, or 02. So, you know, it's 20 years old, right? But when I was a kid, people made fun of me for being like into comics and looking a certain way and wearing certain clothes. But now there's so much content out there where people are doing so many different things and wearing different things. And, you know, there's really no character building if you think about it because there's so many options, right? Like when I was a kid, they made fun of me for being into comics. And I feel like that made me a better person because someone didn't like what I was doing. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep being me. And it built character.
Yes,
but
sir.
now there's so much shit on social media where everybody can comment on your life. So it builds up a little bit more sensitivity and you start liking what people are saying. Yeah. And questioning what people are saying about you. And you kind of need that. It's almost better. Like, have you ever shut off your phone?
Yeah. Before I came to Tallahassee, I actually took a break off social media. Like,
Oh, did you?
just to expose myself to different things, like just to soak up me being in Tampa, actually. Because like
Smart.
I enjoy myself going out to Sparkman Wharf, just being around the people. Like I started to really see like the world different. So I just decided to take a break from social media because that's just a little video game.
Yeah.
Like
right.
if you tune into it too much, you're gonna get lost in the video game.
Yeah.
It's best to get connected with the real world, honestly.
Yeah, and then you start to realize when you get connected with the real world that you like no one really cares about what you think, and vice versa. Like when you're on social media and someone likes your post and someone comments on your post, you think they like you, you think they care about you, but they don't. They don't. Like when you're out in the, here's how you know. You ready? Here's how you know. Get out in the personal, like in your own space. Go to like a public area. Take your phone and just video yourself. How many people do you think is going to walk up to you and say, hey, Tony, stop videoing? No one's going to say that because no one cares what you're doing. They have their own shit going on. No one gives a fuck if you're posting anything, if you're videoing anything. They don't care what you're wearing, what you look like. The only reason they're commenting or liking on social media is because we're all like these weird drones that are just like swiping and we're bored and we're double tapping and we just need that tap, right? To
like
release that dopamine to get us excited.
You hit it right on the head, that dopamine. A quick fix. They just think it's a quick fix, but really it's not a quick fix. You still got to look in the mirror and say, I didn't do anything productive today. I didn't do anything to get to where I want to be, but I did like her pic. I did comment on her video, but you didn't do anything to get to where you want to be.
Nothing. And even if I found out, like, even if I was consuming like motivational content, like good content, you know, I don't know who you follow, but like motivational folks like, I don't know, Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or, right? Like all that, it's all good stuff. But then you can also find yourself that if you get too much of that stuff, you start living in this fantasy world of, I could have that. You know, I could do what he does. And you have to kind of have a little bit more of an objective view and say, how many Gary V's is there? Right?
And with his podcast, like from my perspective, I honestly watch the videos that I know I can connect with rather than just taking in all the information. I'll actually go through the podcast and see, okay, this may hit the spot for me. Let me play this one. I don't just go and just listen to it all the way, because you don't have to. Like, at the end of the day, you still have your own philosophy about the world. Like, you can't just take his. You can take some gems from him, but you can't just take his whole philosophy. That's not how it works.
Well, dude, it's just too much content. I mean, he's talking about so much stuff, like, you know, NFTs and you know, cartoons and playing cards and all. And then you're just like, bro, I'm just trying to pay my rent. Like, hold on, you know what I mean? Like, you got to pick apart a few things that you like. And that's a great philosophy of just grabbing a few things that are important, because I think we should do that with a lot of stuff. You know, I've been doing that a lot lately, especially when I was in the hospital for so long, I was so bored. But I was going through my phone and all the people that I was following that either maybe they were like ex-girlfriends or, you know, they were, because I'm married, right? So maybe they were girls that they just work out a lot and got a big ass, and I was following them like when I was single. And I was like, oh, let me check these out. But then I'm sifting through them, and now that I'm married, I'm like, I should unfollow these girls. You know, I should. But I never thought about it, because you just click the follow button, and you probably never even get to the feed because you're following hundreds and thousands of people. But then you don't realize that subconsciously you're seeing all this content. Maybe it's an ex, you know, maybe it's a friend that is negative, that's always posting like negative political stuff, and maybe that's not what you want to hear, but they're friends of yours from back in high school. Like, you kind of have to, you should really, like, every year pick apart your social media and be careful who you're following, because sometimes, again, subconsciously you follow those people and you're soaking up their negativity. And like you said, you're only hanging out with your friends that are like-minded, right? That are into fitness. And I'm sure that's helped your character a lot, right?
Yes, sir. And even the friends that's not into fitness, if they're like pushing towards their goals, I hang out with them, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to the top.
Yeah.
It's like a no man left behind type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like on the verge of getting left behind, we're going to do everything to pick you up. But if you don't follow suit, we can't do nothing with you.
That's right, man. That's right. No, I love the attitude, man, for sure. And then what's the plans like moving forward? Like, what do you have a goal of, like, once you build your personal brand? Like, do you want to open up your own gym? Do you want to open up a nutritional line? Like, have you guys thought that far ahead, or?
Like, for now, we thought about just opening up a gym later down the road. But right now we're in the process of just grinding, creating training programs, building a foundation around just people that loves us for just what we do, loves us for just who we are, and just taking it one day at a time, honestly. Because I feel like on this journey, it's all about the people you impact. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
That's awesome.
So,
And then, because you're so young, like, how old are you now?
21.
Bro. At 21, I was making some really bad decisions. So you're on the right track, dude.
Appreciate that.
Just keep doing your thing, bro. And then, how are things going? The last thing I want to talk to you about, because I got another podcast here at noon. But the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is like nutrition. So, like, how do you typically? Because I know we mentioned before, like, you're not into soda, energy drinks, like all that stuff, which is all great. But like on a day-to-day basis, if there's someone in their 20s, what do you recommend? And I know you're not a nutritionist, but just in your personal experience, what do you recommend? Like a normal day is eating.
Well, honestly, as you said, I'm not a nutrition, but I start my morning off with just some vitamins, get those needed vitamins in my body, and I just focus on eating real meals, no fast food, no junk food, just eating real meals and making sure I'm hydrated. Honestly,
Now, do you skip breakfast? Do you do intermittent fasting or anything? Or
nah, I love to give me a little bit of oatmeal, a couple eggs.
There you go.
That's just my thing. Some
Yeah.
almond milk, That's
There you go.
my thing.
There you go. Now, do you typically do like breakfast like pretty early and then work out, or do you train like on an empty stomach? Because depending on the day, like if it's a leg day, I'll load up some carbs. But if I'm doing some cardio or something like that, I might do an empty stomach. How do you do
Yeah,
it?
like when I work out in the morning, I usually eat probably some fruit and get some fluids in my body, probably a bar just to start the day off. Because everybody's body's different, but for me, when I eat too heavy, the workout doesn't go as good as I want it to. So I just eat it nice and light. I eat nice and light.
Yeah, but you want to get those good sugars in there to get your blood flowing, and yeah, because a lot of people don't know, sugars are good, especially when you're working out. As you're working out, it's going to get the blood flowing a lot more. So it's good to like sometimes I'll have like a nice apple before I work out or before I train, because it's got a good amount of sugar, good amount of carbs, but it gets me a little boost as opposed to like doing, 2 scoops of creatine and fucking BCAAs and all this shit that people do. Like, no bueno. Yeah. Do you do any pre-workout supplements or anything like that?
Nah.
Yeah.
Right now, full natural. I just want to see where I can take it.
That's it.
just hard work and just doing my own research on my body. Going on Google from time to time. I'm actually like getting into like a book called Supple Leopard.
Supple Leopard. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Supple Leopard.
Text that to me
that's
if you
a book
got it.
that helps with. Okay, that's a good book. It helps with mobility. Actually, teaches you how to actually squat. Teaches you how to actually military press. All that good stuff.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just focused on just being able to move right. I already have been like a person with a nice physique, so it's not really too impressive to me to like go ahead and get all big. I just want to be strong, fit, and mobile at this point in my life.
That's smart, man. And you're still young. I mean, you're a kid, dude. You don't have to worry about gaining weight or getting out of shape until you're like me, where you get married and then it's like a work in progress, because you get too cozy, you get used to the Netflix and chilling, like you're not worried about going out and looking good in the gym or looking good in a bar or something like that. Like once you get married, it's all downhill. Then that's when you could really like up your supplements and do what you got to do. Like I don't take that now, but I got a feeling like when I'm like 50, I'm gonna have to start like taking some shit, because you can't keep this motivation forever. I'm starting to realize that now.
Yeah.
Like when I was in my 20s, man, I used to wake up, I used to party all night, till 2 a.m. Then I would wake up at 6 a.m. I'd pound back some egg whites and some oats, a couple mixed berries, maybe a banana, almond butter. That's like 800 calories, right? 6 a.m.
That was That was me this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
know,
That was
bro.
me this morning. I was out and I knew, I had a podcast today. I would not miss it. First time.
My
I
dude.
made it happen.
My dude. But you're fine. That's what's crazy. Like if I was to do that now, bro, I would be so hungover. I would not be able to handle shit, even if I pounded back the oats. And like, I'm going to try to work out a little bit later. There's no way. Like, I would be able to do it if I drank last night. No fucking way. It's nuts. Damn, dude, that bird is cranking, dude. He's singing a song. You hear?
Yeah, man. I had to come out here for some fresh air. I'm like, yeah, this is a nice spot. I haven't been out here, so yeah.
Dude, and the lighting's great. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Like, I don't know how it is up there, but I mean, here it's like 65 degrees. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it nice up there?
Yeah, it's nice up here. The weather, it gets cold. Like, it's been times where I had to like take ice off of the front of my car. Like, yeah.
No shit. Oh, yeah, because in Tally, you guys get like
it
20 degrees cooler up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. Well,
That's nice.
listen, dude. Enjoy the weather today. Maybe nap a little bit today, you know? And
Well,
enjoy the weather. Get your train in, man. But it was good talking to you. Good seeing you. Glad things are going good up there. I'm going to send you all this stuff once I edit it and I post it and all that so you could share it on your social if you want. But this was good, man. I'm glad we chatted. I'd love to have you on again, even if you want to have your buddies on and talk about the business as you guys get closer to blowing up social. You know, because I love having people on that, whether you're new to fitness or you're experienced like you are. I just love having people on to talk about it because I think there's people out there that are driving in their car that, you know, McDonald's is good. It tastes good. Like the French fries, the burger, I get it. I haven't had it in a decade, but I could see the appeal. And it's cheap. But we don't think, because we're trying to go so fast in life, we don't understand that everything we put in our body and everything we do to our body has a long-term effect. And that's why I like having people like yourself on that's like-minded to where we can continue to spread health, wellness, and get people to understand whether you're 20, 30, or 80, you got to take care of your body because it's the only one you got. So you got to treat it like gold, right?
yes, sir. We're like a car.
Like a
car with
car.
no gas doesn't move.
That's right, dude. And the cool thing with your body is it's not going to charge you $4.50 a gallon. So
Yeah.
it's cheaper
Yeah,
than
it's
that.
crazy out here right now.
Oh, I bet, dude. It's nuts. I mean, I got an electric car, so
Oh yeah.
you know, I'm charging at the
Yeah.
crib.
Yeah.
But this was good, man. We'll definitely do it again. Appreciate the time, and I'll text you after this. We'll keep shooting the shit.
All right, no problem.
All right, man. Hey, great job on your first podcast. Everyone, give Clifton a big round of applause for me. Just
Appreciate it.
all right, my
Feel
dude.
at
We'll talk
home.
later.